Hey, this is Ryan from 60 Cycle Hum, the guitar podcast, and today I'm going to tell you the truth about the gear demo industry. A while back, we had someone comment on one of our YouTube videos that they had found our marketing information on our website, 60cyclehumcast.com. We have all our prices laid out there. Basically, we have a price for pedal demos and a price that covers amp and guitar demos and a price that covers episode sponsorship for our podcast. And that person was asking, hey, what's the deal with this? How do you handle that? You know, like, I think there were implications of like, how do you stay honest? Are you honest? Like, is this normal in the industry? Like, is everyone else paid? I think there was a lot of implications to the question. So I just want to kind of like pull back the curtain a little bit in this video and tell everyone how it works. And, just put it all out there. There's no reason why we can't be transparent about this stuff. I don't think anyone's being dishonest or misleading with demo videos. But if they are, maybe there's some ways you can keep your eyes out and be, a discerning consumer. It's good to know when you're being advertised to. And that's part of the reason why here at 60 Cycle Hum, we like to be pretty transparent because we're consumers too. And we feel a responsibility to our audience to be as transparent as we can because we don't want to swindle anyone. We don't want to mislead anyone. We have a close personal connection with a lot of our audience members. And so it means a lot to us to stay honest. All right, I'm going to go through a list here that I have just to keep this thing organized. I'm going to have timestamps down in the video description so you can jump around if you want to. So first note, do companies pay for gear demos? Obviously they do. We get paid from time to time. There's a lot of content that we make that is unpaid because I am trying to build the channel and I'm trying to make content that's interesting. And I'm also trying to get, more YouTube revenue, which is a way to make money on YouTube, obviously. So yeah, companies definitely do pay for demos. It's a big part of advertising these days for companies. You'll notice if a company launches a pedal, there'll be a bunch of demo channels covering that pedal all at the same time. Is because that company sent out the pedal, they figured out everyone's rates and got everyone paid up, and it's part of their product launch. It's advertising. It's making everyone aware that their product exists and it's available for sale. That's just how it works. All right, I'm going to jump through these as quick as I can. I have some notes. I get paid for some demos. I buy a lot of the gear review. All our fees are public. I've kind of covered that already. But yeah, I do buy a lot of the gear that I cover here. There's a lot of unpaid content on this channel just because I'm chasing things that I think our viewers will like, that I think will get us a lot of views. Like I said, there's a YouTube monetization edge to that I'm trying to chase. But also, I like to do this stuff. There's fun stuff I want to explore. If a pedal comes out and I'm curious about it, I'll either buy it myself or sometimes I'll write the company and be like, hey, I want to cover this. I think my audience will think it's interesting. Just send me the product and I'll make the content. So there's kind of like some gray area in between being paid and not being paid. Sometimes you just ask for the product and the company is like, hey, yeah, free advertising. Here you go for it. All right, next point. How do you know what is paid content and what isn't paid content? I can't speak for any other channel but our own, but if you're watching this channel, if you see like a little click ad pop up down here, that's an unpaid video. I don't put monetization on any videos that we get paid to do. I just think it's a little tacky. I think it's nice to give, a company that pays me to do a demo a clean video that isn't interrupted by advertisements. So if you see an ad pop up, that is just content that I'm making because I think it'd be fun to make, because I think the audience will want to see it. I'll put ads on content where the product was given to me by the manufacturer, but they didn't pay for the demo, if that makes sense. What's next on the list here? Oh, a note I have is just, as a consumer and as someone who exists in our modern world, you should really assume that everything you see that's presented to you is an advertisement. The only time something is for sure not an advertisement, and who knows what the future is going to look like, is if you're having a direct conversation with someone a friend, a family member, a colleague. You're having a conversation, that's not a paid advertisement. But if you're watching something on a screen or is printed somewhere, that's probably marketing materials. Just assume that and just be savvy, be on your toes, and be aware that sometimes things aren't as advertised. I'm not talking about our channel. Things are always as advertised on our channel. I say be skeptical, watch multiple sources here in my notes. So if you're watching a video on a pedal and you're like, wow, this sounds really good. I mean, for amp differences and guitar differences alone and playing style, watch a bunch of videos on something before you buy it. If you watch my video, go watch Andy's video, go watch Gearman Dude, go watch, all these different demo video channels and get a bead for how that pedal or piece of gear sounds with other pieces of gear and other recording techniques. I pride myself on leaving our audio pretty raw. The only thing I do to the guitar audio is I pull off a lot of the low end that wouldn't translate to people's speakers anyways, and it allows me to just bump up the level a little bit. And I don't use any compression, and I don't, do any like EQ tricks or anything, or like any, fancy pants stuff. Sometimes I'll put a limiter on a guitar signal if there's really big peaks and I'm having trouble getting the level up high enough for it to be, audible. I'll use a limiter to pull the peaks down and just even it out a little bit. I'm sure that's a form of compression, but you know what I mean. I'm not trying to trick a pedal or a piece of gear into sounding like a perfect studio recording. I want the recording to sound as close as I can get it to what I heard in the room when I was recording it. What else do I have next here? What if a product sucks? So this is where some honesty comes into play with the demo industry. A demoer is not going to want to trash a company or a company's product, because if you do that, then if that company comes out with something great or wants to hire you in the future, it could really ruin those chances of you getting to do that work. So it's going to be really, really rare that you hear a YouTube demoer be like, oh, this sucks. This company sucks. Oh, I don't like this. This is awful. If there's something I don't like about a product that I'm demoing, I'll be pretty diplomatic about it. There's been exceptions. Like, I think I was pretty forward with the fact that I didn't like the Fender Mustang GT40 amp. Like, I just thought it was hot garbage, honestly. I'll still say that. I'd love to do work with Fender. They have never officially hired me to do any Fender product that I've covered here. I've bought on my own, and who knows, I might have ruined those chances by talking about the GT40 in a negative light. You never know. But, I've said tons of positive things about Fender products that I love. I love the Squier Bullet Mustang. There's a bunch of other Fender things that I've covered that I think are great. But generally, I think there's going to be a fear with demoers and YouTube personalities where, like, I don't want to trash talk something and burn bridges. So listen for things that are more subtle and more diplomatic. If there's a feature of a product that isn't doing it for me, I'll usually say something like, oh, this doesn't really work for the way I play, but maybe be good for this type of player. That's probably as juicy as it's going to get for most demo guys. So really use your ears when you're watching a demo. Come to your own conclusions. It really is like you've got to use it as a tool with your ears to shop for the gear that you actually need. Don't buy something just because someone says over and over again that it's really great. Because what if it's not great for your rig? Like, everyone has a different rig and everyone has a different playing style and they're going for different things. What else do I have here? Why don't I usually talk about the prices of products? Okay, so this is what I figure. There's stuff that's priced all over the map. There are pedals that are super expensive. There are guitars that are super expensive. And there are guitars that are really cheap. I tend to not mention the price of something unless I think the price is a feature. Like the TC Electronic Smorgasbord pedals. They're all dirt cheap. That's a feature of the pedal. Like, that is dirt cheap. And they sound great. A lot of them are really awesome pedals. Some of them I would skip, honestly. You can ask me in the comments if you want which ones I recommend and which ones I don't. But that's a feature of that product, so I'll mention that in a demo. Same thing with the Keeley Compressor Plus. that thing is like $130 or something. It's a fantastic compressor. The price is a feature of that pedal. There's other pedals that, as for example, like Chase Bliss pedals, they're very expensive. They're not disposable income pedals at all. Like, you should really educate yourself on those pedals before you buy them. But I'm never going to mention the price in a demo because I figure I don't know people's finances. I don't know if that's affordable for someone or if it isn't. That's for you to decide. Uh, you know, certain things in life are going to be expensive. That's just how it is. Certain guitars are going to be expensive. Certain pedals are going to be expensive because of the work that goes into them. Maybe there's a scarcity issue. Like, there's not a lot of them around. And so the builder's like, well, I'm just going to charge what I charge to make it worth my while because I only want to build, a dozen of these a year or whatever. That's totally up to the builder. It's the builder's business, what they charge, and it's the consumer's business, what they're willing to pay for. Not everything needs to be affordable. And like I said, I don't know your finances, and I'm not going to assume that everyone should buy anything. Like, things are expensive and there's real life bills to be paid. So that's on you. You figure out if you are supposed to buy something or not. All right, I think we're almost done here. Oh, here we go. This is going to be fun. How does someone get started doing demos? Let's frame this in the way that maybe you're asking, how do I start doing demos and start getting paid to do them or get products to do them? It's a lot of hard work, and there is it costs money to start doing this. Right now, I'm running about $1,500 worth of gear in this room right now to make this video. And that's not including the computer that I'm going to go edit it on. And it doesn't include the professional time that is taking away from my day. Like, I'm a professional graphic designer and videographer when I'm not doing this stuff. And doing this technically takes away from money that I could be making. So you have to consider the time cost, and you have to consider the cost of equipment to even get started. Now, these days, phone cameras are fantastic. If you want to get started on a budget doing demos, I suggest looking for like an affordable LED panel light on Amazon or something like that. There's all sorts of options, around $100 and under. You just need to light your subject well, and then you need to have a rig to get decent audio recordings of what you're doing. You need to have a good mic on your amp, and you need to have everything else kind of line up and know how to, basically edit audio. If you don't know how to do that, then you don't really have any business making a demo video. I mean, you can get started and learn along the way, but it's going to take a while for anyone starting to do this to get to the point where a company is going to want to send you product and then eventually pay you to do demos. To get a channel started, what you need to do is basically start doing demos of the gear you already own and gear that you're interested in. Like, if you buy a pedal and it's brand new to the market, sit down, do a demo. You're not going to get paid for it, but you're going to get it up and you're going to start building basically a portfolio. You need a portfolio. But the big thing that these gear companies pay for when they buy a demo video or any other kind of advertising, they're buying an audience. And that is the number one thing you need to have if you're going to have a company come to you and want to pay you to do a video or want to give you product to do a video. If you don't have an audience, no one's going to care. No one's going to hire you. It doesn't matter how good you play. It doesn't matter, how good your amps are to like run that pedal into, what kind of studio you're in. You could have the most expensive studio in the world with the most expensive cameras in the world and the best editing in the world. If you don't have an audience, no one's going to care. And inversely, you could be filming with the worst camera, worst audio in the world, but if you've got just piles and piles of piles and piles of people watching you, then someone's going to hire you. That's just what it comes down to. These companies want an audience. They want people to know about their product. I'd say that you don't have any business like expecting anyone to give you product to demo, like not even paying you. Like you don't have any business getting product if you don't have at least like 1,500 subscribers on YouTube. And you could probably, there's probably exceptions to the rules. I think we had less subscribers than that, and then we started getting product and, you know, paid for demos. But we also had a pre-existing audience. We have the podcast that has, you know, thousands of listeners. So there's already an audience built in. And that's also a great place to start. If you already have an audience built in because of something else that you're doing and you can tag it into doing demo videos, that's a great place to start, honestly. So yeah, that's a big issue if you want to get started. You have to have an audience, and building the audience is really job number one. So that's it. That's everything I wanted to share about the demo industry. If you have any questions, please ask them down in the comments below. Even if you want to know what kind of gear I use, or, you know, specifics on how to get started, I'll answer all your questions. I'm really good at that sort of stuff. I'm pretty on top of the YouTube channel's questions. Other than that, like and subscribe. Now you know why I want you to subscribe. It helps me out a lot. Dislike, leave me rude comments if you want. I can deal with it. See you in the next video. Later, guys.